Hello everybody and welcome back to another Oscar prediction video where today I will be taking a look at the category of Best Makeup and Hairstyling. Now this category is a little bit interesting in the sense that we don't have a clear consensus from the guilds. Critics' Choice, BAFTA, and Makeup and Hairstylist Guild have all gone with different options. And so in order to figure out what the frontrunner is, we're going to have to use a little bit of deduction. But without any further delay, let's take a look at the nominees that we have. Fifth most likely to win is Golda. So the credited nominees here are Susie Battersby, Karen Hartley, and Ashra Kelly Blue. This is the first nomination for all of them. And the movie is one that a lot of people were correctly predicting would be an Oscar nominee fairly early on, some after the first trailer, some after the first image. Even though the movie was not the best received, it's one of those cases where the makeup is the defining factor, and so that was a contender even when nothing else was. And as for the makeup itself, it's fine. I think one can say it's a little basic. You obviously never forget that you're looking at Helen Mirren, even though she's supposed to be playing Golda Meir. And to be honest, there were times in the movie when it really did seem like the makeup was holding back Helen Mirren from being able to act to her fullest potential. It's not the worst nomination, but it is a fairly standard nomination. Oh, we have a famous actor playing a famous person from history, and they're caked in makeup, so we gotta give this a nomination. Now, Helen Mirren is really the only person in the movie who is wearing any sort of notable makeup, and also the movie just has this one nomination and is not the best received, so for all of those reasons, I find it very difficult to imagine that Mirren can actually pull off that the movie can actually pull off the win here. It's a small movie, it's not a movie that people are crazy about, and the other movies here are just more liked. And the makeup's not great. There's a million different reasons why I would not predict this to win. Fourth most likely to win is Society of the Snow. So in this film, the credited makeup artists are Ana Lopez Puigcerver, David Martí, and Montse Ribe. The latter two had previously won this category for Pan's Labyrinth, which is very exciting. And I do think there's really great, commendable work in this film. Some people wanted this movie to get more tech nominations, but this is a fine one for it to get, because we do really have to show what these people are going through, these survivors stuck in the mountains, and over the course of the film we really see them wasting away and looking far older than their years. It is really impressive stuff, and also on the actors playing corpses. It all has to look completely realistic in order for you to buy into the reality of this movie. And I think it's all done very, very well. Now, the top 3 movies in this category all have Best Picture nominations. I think that gives them a leg up in this particular race, but Society of the Snow is a well-received film. The thing is, it was in contention to receive more than just this, an international feature. People thought it could get visual effects or score, and ultimately it just got these 2 nominations, so I feel like the movie as a whole isn't as widely respected as the top 3. Now, you don't always need to have that, but the makeup, I don't know, it's not as obvious and in your face as some of these contenders. It's more subtle work, but very effective work. And it doesn't seem like the type of thing that is usually rewarded with a win. I like this nomination, I think it's very deserving, but looking at the Academy's general taste, I don't see them going for it. Third most likely to win is Oppenheimer. So the only credited nominee with this film is Louisa Abel. This is her first nomination. And this is one of those cases where the movie is just so well loved, it gets nominated in every conceivable category it could get nominated in. And the makeup nomination really does just feel like sure, we love this movie, let's throw another bet. Which is not to say that it's bad work, but it's maybe the most subtle of all the nominees. There is gradual aging work done to Cillian Murphy and Emily Blunt to age them over the course of the narrative. And in the very end of the movie, we do get a flash forward where we see them looking very old, which is probably the most showy that the makeup gets. Outside of that, like, it's not bad work, it's not the best work either, but it does, like, put you in a certain mindset to believe that these characters are actually aging, which is more than can be said for something like The Color Purple also this year, where the actors look exactly the same at the end of the movie than they do at the beginning. This does make an attempt to have the actors convincingly age, but outside of that, there's not a ton of special effects transformation work. A little bit to Robert Downey Jr., but he did actually shave his head himself, so I don't really know how much of this makeup work is just so impactful. You have to vote for it. It's good work. It's very subtle work, and there is a world where a voter just loves Oppenheimer so much that they vote for it in every single category. But this is probably going to be the category where they think, no wait, maybe I shouldn't give it this. Maybe it's winning everything else. It doesn't also need to win this. And there's two more contenders that are also in Best Picture movies that I think have much showier work. Second most likely to win is Poor Things. So the credited nominees here are Mark Coulier, Nadia Stacey, and Josh Weston. Stacey is a previous nominee for Cruella, and Coulier is a previous winner for both The Iron Lady and Grand Budapest Hotel. So there's a lot of pedigree behind this nomination, and the makeup work in the film is very impressive, particularly on the Willem Dafoe character. Like, there is a lot of very cool work to transform his face and get him looking like someone who was experimented on many, many times as a child, as he says in the film. Now, Emma Stone's character does have some interesting work done on her hair and the length of it, but the other actors in the film are mostly, it's not the most crazy work. There's a little bit with Catherine Hunter's character and the tattoos she has, but a lot of the work on this film is solely focused on the Dafoe character. And the thing about the Dafoe character is that, yes, it's very impressive, but he's very much a supporting presence in the movie. And so there's large stretches of the film where he's not on screen, and because of that, it's not the most obvious contender for a win. If Willem Dafoe was the lead of the movie and he was in every scene, then I think that would greater incentivize people to vote for the movie, but the fact is he's not. Now, the movie did win the BAFTA, which is not nothing, and I think that this is a movie that people really like and really respond to and are going to want to give something, but I hesitate to think it will be this. The movie that I am predicting to win this category, number one most likely to win, is Maestro. So, the credited nominees of this film are Kei Giorgio, Kazuhiro, and Laurie McCoy Bell. And Giorgio has previously been nominated for Joker, and Hiro has previously won for Darkest Hour and Bombshell. So similar credentials between our top two contenders, both Best Picture nominees. However, I think the Maestro makeup is just more impressive. And the funny thing is, much like The Whale last year, I called this very early on as soon as the first set photos were released and we saw what Bradley Cooper looked like. We were like, oh, he's got to win for this. It's such impressive work. And, however, there was this assumption that Bradley Cooper was going to come along with the win, with the makeup. And we've seen this trend recently of actors winning with the makeup transformations. And as of right now, it no longer looks like Cooper is winning, and it looks like general support for the film is waning a little bit. Or is it? Because it still got the Best Picture nomination. And this made me think a lot about what happened last year with Babylon in production design specifically, where we thought, oh, even if people don't like the movie, they're going to vote for this one element because it's so undeniable, and they didn't. But Babylon was not a Best Picture nominee, and Maestro is. And even if there's a lot of discourse on film Twitter where the movie is not widely respected, the movie is liked well enough that it did get like 8 nominations. And that shows a lot of strength behind the way the Oscars see the movie. Now, and on top of that, whereas Poor Things just focuses on the Dafoe character, this movie focuses on all the characters to a certain extent, but a lot of the work is on Cooper and Mulligan, who are our two leads, and we see them age over the course of the movie, and it's very impressive work. And obviously the film is bookended with Cooper as a very, very old man, and the camera gets very, very close so that we can inspect the makeup very closely, and it's flawless. Even if you don't like the movie, which I don't, it is difficult to deny how impressive this makeup is and how fully complete the transformation is. I would not think that this was Bradley Cooper if I just saw the still image, which is usually the sign. Like Poor Things, I would know that that was Willem Dafoe, and Golda, I would know that that was Helen Mirren. But this is the makeup transformation that would legitimately fool me, and I think that goes a long way. So, even though Poor Things definitely makes a case for himself, I do think that Maestro will ultimately be victorious in the end. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in next time where I will be taking a look at the category of Best Documentary Feature. Stay tuned.